One of the most iconic hockey teams in the world, a former hockey powerhouse that suddenly found themselves sidelined and on the brink of disappearing from the sport altogether. This is the unique story on how Finland lost its hockey team, the controversy and betrayal behind their collapse, and the rebirth that is taking place.
I'm in Helsinki drinking a long drink right now, and we're going to check out one of Finland's most iconic hockey clubs, Jokerit. Now, I'm interested in going to this game because their history in recent years has been a bit rocky, to the point where the club practically didn't exist for a few years. Now, let me finish this drink and I'll explain.
In 2013, Jokerit made a shocking announcement. They would be joining the KHL for the start of the 2014 season, along with the team and arena being bought by Russian investors, leaving Finnish ice hockey behind altogether. It was a move that would forever change the course of this club. Jokerit's home arena today is just one example of the ripple-down effects this move has had.
The Helsinki Jäähalli, which is actually the home to HIFK. And, as you probably already guessed, is not Jokerit's normal arena.
But more on why they're playing here in a minute. We have a game to catch. Through a sea of HIFK blue and red, I went on a hunt for one of the most iconic logos in all of sports. The club and their winking joker rose to prominence in the 90s when they became one of the most successful teams in Europe, helping the coolest logo in sports become a symbol for Finnish ice hockey.
I really wanted to get a jersey, but I didn't have 130 euros to spend, so I settled on a scarf. Just look how cool and iconic that logo is. The winking joker.
It became known worldwide almost as much as another Finnish staple, the long drink.
Oh, fun fact about the Finnish long drink here. When Helsinki hosted the Olympics in 1952, they were like, hey, you know what? We have a lot of people coming in. Let's make a drink to celebrate. So they decided to mix grapefruit juice with gin and call it a long drink. These go down easily, so be careful how many you decide to drink. She was like, do you want a small or a large? And I was like, why don't you fuck me up with the large? Now here's the thing. In most Finnish arenas I've been to so far, they don't allow drinks down there in the seats, but I think I brought tickets to a section where you can have booze. So I'm either gonna be able to drink this one during the game, or I'm gonna have to chug this. I'll report back. Update. I was able to bring it in. Let's go. Oh, and we have another goal. I would have missed that if I had to chug it on the concourse. Sick.
Jokerit moved to the KHL for one thing only: money. After the 90s, Jokerit's success started to dwindle. Their owner at the time viewed the KHL as a way to re-globalize the brand. In Finland, the move was seen as an act of betrayal. For the hockey-crazed country, losing such an iconic and successful team was like losing a part of their identity. For Russia, the addition of Jokerit was a huge get. The league had visions of expanding all through Europe, and adding a team from Western Europe could help open the door for other teams to follow. Here's a fun fact to show just how large the KHL was. Jokerit's furthest opponent in the KHL was Vladivostok, on the far east side of Russia. That's roughly 6,800 kilometers away in a trip that crosses 8 time zones. In that first season alone, Jokerit logged over 40,000 kilometers in travel. It's the equivalent of walking the entire length of Finland from north to south 35 times. That's according to my math, so please take it with a grain of salt. Hey, this next part of Jokerit's history is pretty important because it explains how they almost disappeared from hockey for good. And it's pretty long and confusing, and how I originally filmed it, I thought was actually pretty boring. I'm gonna act out how I think it all went down. At this point in our story, Jokerit has spent 8 seasons in the KHL, and things are going pretty good for them, you know, but then the Russian invasion of Ukraine happens, and Jokerit's entire life is about to be turned upside down. Hey man, look. It's been really fun, but we're catching a lot of heat back home for what you guys are doing, so we're gonna have to dip. До свидания. Hey, what's up, old friend? So, I've been thinking, and just hear me out. I know we left you for a bigger and better league, but do you wanna maybe Get back together and rekindle that old flame?
Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me, dog. If we wanted to, you're gonna have to clear some things up with that guy. Yeah, so some bad news for you. We placed sanctions on Russia. So since some Russian investors are part of your ownership group, those sanctions kind of apply to you and your team. So you legally can't really conduct business in Finland, which means you can't play hockey. Sorry. Well, I might not have a league to play in, but at least I can go home to my fancy arena. Hey, don't touch that. Yo, what? You can't go in here. Remember how I mentioned those sanctions? Well, they also apply to your arena. That means no games played here, no events here, and it is officially closed. Sorry. Spare change, please. Well, you won't be needing this anytime soon, will ya? Now, at this point, the situation for Jokerit was pretty dire. They had no league, they had no home, and they had no team. They were essentially just a name on paper. So much so that fans started to believe there was a real threat this team would just become a hockey memory and disappear forever. What they needed was someone to buy the team. But even that was proving to be a struggle. Here you go, buddy. Yes, very interesting. I don't know if I like this deal. Due to their close and deep ties with Russia at the time, many potential owners who came on failed because they saw it as a bad investment. What they really needed was someone with a deep connection to the team. Hold up, wait. This is my former team. I'll help buy it. You can count me in too. Me three. We'll help buy the team and bring it back to Finnish hockey. After a year plus of being dormant and fighting for their existence, these former players helped Jokerit clear a path for them to return to Finnish hockey. And in the 2023-24 season, Jokerit joined Finland's second league, the Metis, which is where they remain today. End scene. This is by far the dumbest thing I've done.
The arena situation took longer to resolve, so other rinks in Helsinki were used as temporary homes. But this season, the team has played select games at their true home, with hopes of returning there full-time next year. The crowd tonight is a bit empty, which is a little disappointing, but Jokerit is playing one of the last place teams, so that might explain it. Actually, fun fact about the team they're playing, they are from Nokia, which is where the Nokia phone company was started. However, there are some perks to attending a second league game. The seats?
What are these seats? They only cost me like $40. In America, these would be like $200 at least. Crazy. More beer money.
An absolute steal. Cool jerseys, you ask? Well, we got that. I even heard they wear these throwback unis when they play at this arena. By the way, how do we feel about these chrome buckets, chat? And of course, lots of goals. It was also time for me to check out the food situation in this arena.
I wonder where you can get a hot dog at. Oh, maybe right there, except it's closed. But you get the joke. Actually settled for this, which is hot dogs chopped up in fries with relish, mayo, and looks like onions. Had to change it up a bit.
It's called something I had a 0.1% chance of pronouncing correctly, so I just showed the lady a picture I found on Google.
They also didn't give me a fork, so I guess you just use your hands. All right.
I spent the third period eating like a barn animal and trying not to get hot dog grease everywhere. It felt like everyone in the entire arena was watching me instead of the game. In hindsight, it's easy to criticize Jokerit's move to the KHL, but at the time it offered a chance to compete in the second biggest league in the world, posing lots of benefits for this club and their passionate fans. Despite all the controversy, Jokerit set attendance records their first KHL season and again upon returning to Finnish hockey. The arena might not be full tonight, but the loyalty is clear in the fans who are here, creating an atmosphere like a full arena. They've endured years of uncertainty, simply wanting to watch their team play, and for a while there was a real fear that may never happen again.
Jokerit's going on the power play. This is our chance here. Got a minute and a half left and an empty net. 20 seconds left. Oh no. That was a big clear there. There we go.
I might have been bad luck and mushed Jokerit, but there is hope though. With the SM Liga expanding next season, Jokerit is set to return to the league they never should have left. And I know I'll be coming back for a game when they play one of their classic rivals.